Our conversations continue here at Davos 2022, and joining me now is CP Gurnani from Tech Mahindra. Mr. Gurnani, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us here. As far as the tech mood is concerned, it continues to be buoyant. There are, of course, near-term challenges, but everyone I speak to says that demand is holding up, demand is looking strong, clients are negotiating as far as prices are concerned, and perhaps you could see some price increases coming in. What are the conversations that you've had telling you?
Clearly, for businesses, it has become imperative that doesn't matter whether the conversations you have, they talk about whether inflation or geopolitical. It is very, very evident that if you need to reach the consumer today, the medium is digital. And every company wants to improve their digital engagements. They want to enrich that experience. And Tech Mahindra launched METAVERSE in February at Barcelona, and the response has been phenomenal because suddenly METAVERSE and commerce coming together. I mean, it started almost, it felt like, one of those games like, you do NFT auctions or you do, the Web 3.0 kind of thing. But today, there is serious commerce being discussed in Metaverse.
So that's a new area of opportunity that you're focusing on. But, in terms of the bread and butter business today, do you see any impact of the uncertainty as far as the deal pipeline is concerned on budgets at all at this point? Or is everything as it was pre-Feb?
So I think, Shereen, for IT industry, I've always believed that we are a lag industry. It definitely will take 2 or 3 quarters of, tail before we even feel the impact, if there is an impact. The reason is that most of the projects have been thought through, most of the deals have been thought through before they are awarded to us, and they need to be executed because they have always direct business impact. Today's deals are no longer only about tech transformation. They are about business transformation. As much as my engineers go and talk C++, they have to learn ROI also.
Yes, that I would imagine is very important as you reach out to clients who are looking at business transformation. So speaking of, themes that you're going to be working on internally, you just gave us a glimpse of the metaverse focus and emphasis. But, what will be the driving differentiators for Tech Mahindra going forward? Whether it's the cloud, everyone's talking about being able to capitalize on that opportunity, whether it's about ensuring that there are no silos within the organization, so everyone's talking about reorganizing, making teams seamless so that it's a better experience for the client. So what will be the differentiators for Tech Mahindra as you look at your competitive landscape as well?
So I think, Shereen, good question. The fact is all silos have been broken in these 2 years during the pandemic. The silos were broken by Zoom or a Google Meet or a Cisco WebEx or a MS Teams. Everybody came together on this virtual platform. From a differentiator point of view, I think 5G, and you and I have spoken to your audience many times. And it continues to be a differentiator. It is a differentiator because it allows you to give connected solutions. It gives you a life without the wires. The second part, which is the fastest growing business for me, is what I call customer experience management. I mean, one of our acquisitions that we did in New York, they have their own studio in New York. They have their own studio in London, and many of our customers have benefited by getting better design, better user experience, better customer experience. So I think that's one of our fastest growing businesses. The third area where we work in detail is more about design engineering. I mean, you know that we had acquired a company called Pininfarina, But it's not only about automobile design. It's not about designing, the fastest or the best cars in the world. It's actually manifested itself into design of networks, design of, the software, and design of software-defined networks. I mean, that clearly is what our clients are differentiating and appreciating of what we do. And now, combining all of this, that means power of communication, power of customer experience, power of human experience management. When you combine all of that and you create meta avatars, when you are able to create commerce, NFT is just one example. But the reality is, one of the retail stores that we are working with, the returns used to be 30% from the online customers. Somebody will try it, I don't like the color, I don't like the size, I don't like the shape, whatever. Today, thanks to Meta launch, their adoption is still low, but the people who are adopted in Meta Avatar and are trying out those clothes, the reduction, the rate of return has reduced to 8%, from 30% to 8%. So clearly, Metaverse, 5G, I mean, there's a lot to be done.
Thank you. You're the first person who's given me a real used case. So I appreciate that. And I'm hoping for more insights like that from you. So, this is clearly an area of opportunity that is going to build itself out. What will be the mega trends now in terms of the kind of talent that is going to be required to be able to service this need in this market?
The company needs both, the tech ninjas and the business ninjas. And as I shared with you earlier, while we lead into a conversation with a business, because ultimately the buyers have all become smarter, they want to see how their dollar rupee travels and what is the return on it. But end of the day, it is the tech prowess which allows me to stay in that relationship. So the skill requirement as we go along has to be understanding of processes, understanding of business, and appreciation of technology is almost like a basic skill. Then you can say that my strong hand is either a process, even to automate a process, you need a process knowledge.
Yeah.
Or my strong hand is business domain, or my strong hand is technology. So clearly, you can't be strong in everything. So I'm assuming that superhuman may not be there who is strong in all three, but at least choose one domain where you want to be strong.
Yes, as you point out, it's hard to be a superhuman or have all of these capabilities in one, but you could perhaps shop around for some of these capabilities. Is that something that you're looking at?
I mean, we built this company by not shying away from asking for help or shopping around. So, but at this stage, I mean, I'm very clear that I had a very active year of M&A. So I am going to focus a lot of my time and energy in integrating those companies into the main TechM fold. So this year my focus is organic, but trust me, if there is a gap or if there is an opportunity, we are not the kind of guys who will be shy.
Well, yes, as you said that you have plenty of risk appetite, but I don't want to ask you about near-term targets because those are discussed every quarter anywhere, threadbare. But I want to understand from you, given what you are seeing in terms of penetration, in terms of the changes, in terms of the kinds of deals that are coming your way, what could be the size of business over the next 5 years?
I think there is internally, obviously, there is a target and there is a...
What is the target?
The mission. So there is, like every other organization, or particularly for us, it is, there is a mission and we are working on a mission for 2030. But important, I can only say, is that in all my communication, internal and external, while I may have set a vision called 2030, but more important is that we do take the NASSCOM survey seriously, and our endeavor is to beat the NASSCOM growth targets.
Beat the NASSCOM growth targets, fine, but what is part of the Vision 2030 that you've laid out for yourself at Tech Mahindra? You know, is it like a 5-point plan? Is it a 10-point plan? What is it? And what do you hope to be at the end of that period?
I don't know whether, I mean, the reason I don't like to talk is about the futuristic, these vision statement, particularly not about, you know, that we have, as a group, we have always said we want to be the most admired company. So there is clearly an umbrella statement which binds all of us, that we will work together to create value for employees, create value for stakeholders, create value for our customers. And we also been very vocal that during the pandemic we decided that if there is an opportunity, we will focus more on people, because if we are able to help our people during the pandemic, they will definitely end up helping the customer, and clearly the shareholder will benefit out of it. So there is a goal for value creation. And number third is, more important is that we want to add value to our employees and customers. And adding value means technology leadership. Adding value means adding value to my clients to help them run better, faster, and help them grow. So there is a lot that is going on, and I promise you we are quite energized.
Energized and on course to meet the targets that you've set out, but you won't reveal.
Never gave the guidance, I won't give the guidance today also.
Mr. Gurnani, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us here in Davos. Always a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks very much for your time.
All right, thank you. I don't know what you like more, snow or the rain.
You know, I think it's a toss-up. I'm not sure either. But we will take a break here and return with more conversations from Davos 2022. Stay with us. We're back in a moment.